Those are 3 coaches entering the hall this year, but there are 4. And the 4th is sitting right here. Arlington coach John Messuri. John, welcome and congratulations.
Thanks, Evan. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Of course. How's it feel to be a Hall of Famer?
I'm old. Yeah, you got to be old to be in a Hall of Fame. So old. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, for you, who are some of your most influential coaches that helped you become a coach?
Oh, certainly my dad, Eddie Burns, the Arlington High hockey coach, my baseball coach in Arlington, Bob Lavery. I had really good coaches growing up.
You know, Ed Burns, obviously there a long time. What was it like to sort of take over a team that he molded so heavily?
You know, at the time, we were kind of on hard times a little bit when we took over in 2011-12. So it was like, let's figure out how we can get going and to get Arlington hockey back again. Like, you know, my kids were young. I loved coaching in Winchester. I had a ball coaching in Winchester. We had some great runs there. That was really cool. And then in 2010, I was missing Anthony's games and the schedules weren't jiving. He was a squirt and we were living in Arlington. So I stopped coaching for about a year and a half. And then when the Arlington job and they moved to the Middlesex League, you know, then I was like, all right, this is a good opportunity to see if we get Arlington back to where it was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you know, you've obviously had a lot of success since coming to Arlington. How do you think that's all come together so well?
Coaching today is about having the kids have enthusiasm about coming to the rink. And I think just, you know, motivating the kids and having them want to be at the rink and buying into what you're doing and making it fun. And I think you got to let them know that high school hockey is pretty special. You know, like I was watching, you know, the BC game, our game, you know, BC High game. We lost that game, but the rink was electric. The Winchester game the other day, the rink was electric. I'm sorry, but you're not going to find that in most college games. Forget about prep school games and kick it to the curb on juniors. Like, it's pretty special to be in that atmosphere.
You and I have talked a lot about kids staying in the MIAA, kids leaving the MIAA. What's been your philosophy on kind of helping kids stay longer?
Well, I mean, my philosophy is if you're talking to colleges and they're telling you, like, you got to move on to the next level, then you should move on to the next level. And if you're playing high school hockey and you know, if you start lighting it up, then yeah, it's time to move on to the next level. But if you're not lighting it up and you like where you're at, just stay and keep playing and see what happens. You know,
yeah.
I think the unfortunate thing for Massachusetts hockey is we've had too many kids think that by moving, they're gonna all of a sudden, Brownie at Boston College is gonna go, wow, you're playing over here. Like, you got to be successful where you're at. Enjoy what you're doing. It's a once in a lifetime shot, right? Like to play hockey. Like, enjoy where you're at and just keep going. Like, we had 3 NHL draft picks last year. We had 3 NHL draft picks in the Winchester-Arlington game when I was coaching Winchester in 2001.
It's fascinating how fast that changed. That wasn't that long ago.
It was, it was interesting, right? Because in 2010 was my last, one of my last year at Winchester. We played a Malden Catholic team in the Super 8 that rolled out 5 Division I players on their first line with the 2D. Collier, Vecchione, Fitzy on the wing, like BC, UNH, Northeastern, right, on Malden Catholic. And then the next time I made the Super 8 was with an Arlington in 16-17, and there was nobody committed, and we were in the finals. There was nobody committed in the finals in that game. So
and that was 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fascinating how quick that changed. Now to this team, right now as we sit here, your team is doing well. What's worked for you guys, and what's sort of your outlook going forward?
We've been good defensively. We've been getting good goaltending. Our defense has been playing real well. We haven't been scoring a lot, but nobody else has. So, you know, sooner or later, like the over/under in one of these games is going to be like 0.5 on DraftKings. So I would say that. Yeah, we're competing hard. We're playing hard. I think we're going to not have as good of a record as we had last year. We're a little banged up right now, but I think we're going to be better when the tournament comes because everybody's playing us way harder this year than they played us last year. Like, last year was supposed to be like a rebuilding year, and then everybody's kind of like, I mean, we're seeing everybody's best games. I go out and watch games, and, you know, I watch these teams play live, and I watched a couple of teams in our league play the other day live, and then we played one of them. I'm like, oh, man, they were not playing with this venom in the game I just watched them play.
One last thing, I mean, on the MIAA in general, this is something we talked about on that podcast, sort of the state of it, what you think of where Mass high school hockey is. I mean, where do you think this is headed? Where do you think the MIAA
Well, I don't think it's just mass hockey. I think prep school hockey's way down too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better hockey than high school hockey, but prep school hockey's not doing so great, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you used to go look at a Belmont Hill team, and they had 8 commits on the team. You know, now they have 2, 3 maybe, and one of them's an Arlington guy.
That's right. As we do this, he's the highest point getter on that team right now.
So that's
Evan Jones.
Yeah, Jonesy's the best. His father still coaches with me. You know, I had his older brother Brendan, but yeah, I mean that's a source of pride for us too, that a kid can leave a public high school, go to a prep school, and be their best player now. You know, so it shows that our development model and what we're teaching our kids might be working.
Well, that's Arlington coach John Messuri. Thanks for visiting with us today.
Evan, thanks for having me.